crafters. Well, happy Thanksgiving weekend. This is not quite when I thought I was going to be bringing you this video, but better late than never, right? So what I'm going to be talking about today or teaching you is an origami ornament that is made out of paper, and you can add some embellishments to it, and depending upon what you would like to do, you can do it out of pattern paper, you can do it out of a more solid paper, but these are nice paper ornaments. I'm working on trying to create a pattern for a little bit larger one, and I haven't quite got that made yet, so I'm still working on that. But this actually is not my original design. Like I say frequently, that I learn things from other YouTubers or other crafters. So I've seen this on Pinterest. I've also seen it on the Paper Pixie. I think she's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And also, another gal by the name of Sam Calcutt. I think it's Mixed Up Media. I believe that she's also done this type of ornament before. So I wanted to bring it to you to show you. It's a beautiful origami type of ornament. I think it looks very nice hanging on the tree, and I think that there's a lot you can do with it. If you see, I added a little bow here, and I added some little doodads, and then I added some holly on the back, and I've just used the natural twine. They don't, they're not ornaments that are going to sit real well. This one kind of is top heavy because of the little doodads on here. But what I'd like to do is show you how to make this, and then when I get the opportunity to get that other ornament done, the larger sized one, I will bring that to you as well. But this is a very easy design, and basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to cut 3 strips of paper, and the lengthwise they are 7 3/4 by 1 5/8. And I'm going to show you my pattern here. I guess I should have done that right away. So they're 7 3/4 by 1 5/8. And then we're going to go along into here, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch, then 1 1/4 inch, 3 1/4 inches, 4 7/8, and 6 7/8. And then I'll show you about this when we get to that point. But I've got the other 2 scored, so let me just go ahead and work along with this one. And so we're gonna, as I said, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. And I don't do it too hard. It's just so that it helps the paper have some flexibility. It's not necessary to burnish those score marks. So just so that you do get the score mark in there. So again, that's 1/2, 1 1/4, 3 1/4, 4 7/8, and then 6 7/8. And that's the scoring that we're going to do. The other thing that helps me on some of this paper, I do go back in and I put it back in where this is a 1/2 inch score, then to the 1 1/4. So sometimes this is really hard for me to see where those score lines are. So I go in on the wrong side, and I just mark off where those significant lines are for myself, because these aren't going to be seen anyways, but I'm going to need them for my next step. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to score for the, I did here. Sorry, I did something wrong here. Just thinking about it. You probably all saw it and were yelling at me. This should be 6 7/8. Sorry, I don't know. I must have done 5 7/8, but it should be 6 7/8. So what we're going to do, and Fortunately, I'm sorry I didn't score those ahead of time, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I just made myself a little round block. Actually, I was using this in the past for my round edge, and I just ended up taking my 3-inch cutter and stacked about 6 to 8 pieces of paper together because I thought it was easier to see over. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take onto our mat here, and if you have something that's a little bit softer, that always works a little bit better. But we're going to take it on the mat, and we want to go from corner to corner in those longer edges, and go back and forth a couple of times. And then I'm going to lay this, and you could even take a die cut if you wanted to. I just decided for me it was easier. I was just going to make this, and I thought that I could keep this on my desk then, and just for my ornaments, because I really like these little ornaments. Do that, and then we're going to flip this around, and I'm going to see, I know that my score line is right about here, so I'll just watch for that. You can bend it in a little bit if you want to, but do the best you can do, or draw a line down it. I just usually feel for it because I like to make sure that that score line is not really going over the upward score line, you know, the ones that we put in from the scoring board. So I've got to do these other two as well. I forgot to do them ahead of time. If I can figure out how to speed up my video, I will speed up my video so you don't have to watch that. And when I'm done, I'm gonna stop talking and see if I can just get this done. Okay, now that that's all done, hopefully I could have sped that up for you because that's a lot of watching for that. The other thing that we're going to do then is on these score lines, I'm going to come in these rounded score lines and kind of just pull in the crease so that I can get that crease sort of started. The other thing that I realized is on this side where I didn't have the markings, I remembered as I was scoring them that there is 2 inches apart, those score lines. So I just laid it on my scoring pad and put it at 2 inches, and I just worked my way through that. So I do the scoring on this side for the ones going up and down, but I found that I've had better luck doing the scoring on the back side for the ovals. I just like the way that they seem to bend a little bit easier, the way that I need them to bend. So, and these aren't going to be important initially, but they will be important once we have everything done. So just gently pull those in, and it'll help you once you're setting up the ornament too on where those sides are. So just gently manipulate those and pull those in like that on all 3 of these. The other thing is that I probably would not make this with a pattern paper that is too thin, or one that has a white core that's seen easily. I just don't think that you'd have a lot of good luck. It wouldn't you would end up having a lot of that white core showing. Now you can edge some of it with your vintage photo, but I just would suggest to try to make it so that you're using a better paper. So the next thing that we're going to do then is on this end of the pattern, we are going to put a hole right here in our ornament, and that will be for our tie. And before we do that, I'm also going to get something else ready. What I would like to do is make a little reinforcement for that. So I am taking on the 1/8 inch side, and I'm just going to punch a hole in here so that I have my 1/8 inch there, and then I'm going to take my 1/2 inch corner rounder, and I'm going to, oh, I didn't even think about that. It's going to, oh my goodness. Next time not to go so far in. So then I'm going to match that up and then just punch out my little reinforcement, and that is going to help us when we end up putting our string on our ornament. Where's my scissors? Where did it go? There we go. And you know, the ornament length can be anything that you're comfortable with. So, alrighty. So this is our other side. And what we're going to do is take this, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it in between. And since they're going to hang on the tree, you know, it's not critical that everything is perfect. It's also handmade crafts. So then I'm just going to tie a knot in the bottom of this ribbon, or twine. Pull that tightly, and we're going to take this and push this through. And what this is for a little bit more reinforcement on our ornament so that our string won't come through. This is a little bit thicker, so I've just got to get it a certain way, and it'll go through just fine. So then that comes down onto our string by our little knot, and then this we're going to end up pulling through this knot, and we've got our string on our ornament. So then the next thing that we're going to be doing is all of these 1/2 inch pieces. We are going to take each one of those, and we are going to put score tape or double-sided tape, whatever brand you use. And I just don't have any 3/8 inch ones on my desk right now, so that's why I'm using a 1/4 inch. You know, it doesn't matter that much, but I would probably use 3/8 inch if I had it on my desk. So I'm going to do this on all three. And this is on the 1/2 inch section. All right. And then I'm just going to burnish those down just to make sure that I don't have any air pockets in them. And then the one that has the string on it is the first one that we're going to pull together. So you're going to take that apart, and you're going to just match up this side to your 1/2 inch mark right there. And then push that down and burnish it just to make sure it's nice and sturdy. And then we're going to take another one, doesn't matter which one, And we are going to take and do the same thing. Bring that over, and the wider end goes over to the 1-inch score line on here. And then when we put this together, we're going to start putting this together and wrapping it. The way that I try to remember, this is going to go in like this. And I try to remember this, oh, sorry, it's got to go like this. So that these edges are to the outside. The little half moons are to the outside. They've got to go. And really the hardest part of this whole ornament is coming up. What we're doing, oh, no, that's right. Sorry, I'm confusing myself. So the next thing that we have to do is we need to take this piece and we need to feed it in through this side. So we're going to feed it into one side here. And then we're going to run it down and feed it through this side. Like I said, this is probably the hardest part. It's just a little bit fussy. You just need to take your time. And as I was saying, the way that I remember to do this is that I think about the fact that this one that goes around, this cannot go around over the top. So I have to put this middle one so this can go around my bauble without going over the top. That's the best way for me to remember which way it should be going. Now we'll take our tape off and we will glue this up to our 1/2-inch mark, side to side. And so now this is the next hardest part. So what we're going to do is we are going to take, this is our seam, we're going to take that seam and run it through so that it goes to the inside of that ornament. And actually that went very easily. It's the first one that has, so that's a good thing. And then I'm going to go around and I'm going to put do my little curves all the way around. All those little curves that we made before, push those all in and down. Just take your time and slowly push them all down. And as you do that, it tightens up the ornament and the paper and makes the ornament become a little bit more, I guess you would say, kind of a little bit more tight. Sometimes some things pop out and I have to go back and redo them, but just keep working your way around the ornament until you have all the sides pushed in. And like I said, sometimes I have to go back and kind of push the side in. Sometimes I've had situations where it kind of went in kind of wonky, so I took my little stick and I went in and pulled this out again and tried to put it in a little bit better. But that basically is our ornament, and it is a nice light little ornament, and you can see that it took us next to nothing time-wise. And I have these pieces of mistletoe ivy or whatever, and I probably will put one of these on top. I'll put some of my bells or pine cones on the top, and ribbon can do that as well. So there's many things that you can do on the top of your ornament. It's really all up to you, what you're most comfortable with, and that's it. So I'm hoping to try to make a box that I can put this in for gift giving, and make it a nice little kind of origami type box as well. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like and subscribe. I would love to hear what you think of the Christmas projects, and if you have any suggestions for any more of the further